This is
The Grove Podcast.
Hot off the pitch.
Hello, now I'm just doing this to see if the technology works. Otherwise, we may have to stop this. So apologies. I'm just looking at the YouTube channel to see if we are live or not. Otherwise, this is going to be a waste of time. Nope, we are on. Okay, good. Right, ignore all of that. Right. Now, hello, my name is...
Itself.
Oh, well, there we go. There's a trust in the technology there. Right. Okay. That when I send this out as a pod, I'm going to do that. But there we go. Anyway, hello, my name is Tabs and welcome to the Grove Podcast, Hot Off the Pitch live stream and post-match instant reaction podcast. We will get the technology right one day. It's not like I've been working in IT for the past 30, 40 years, but there we go. Anyway, this is where we bring you an instant reaction to Arsenal games, minutes, 20 or so minutes after the final whistle. And well, it was Leeds 0, Arsenal 4, just what we needed after recent Premier League performance. So you love to see it. We're all aboard the fun boat and it's a lovely place to be. And joining me on the fun boat to discuss the game, as well as a bit of a preview of the EFL Cup semi-final at home to Chelsea midweek, is Ian, or Captain Ian, aka Ask Cannon Picks. Ian, how are you? Are you all aboard? Did you get seasick?
I'm all aboard. I went looking for a sailor's hat there the other day. Couldn't find one. But I am all aboard, especially after that today. I was nervous today, I have to say, in the build-up, away at a tough ground. We're going to get into the details, obviously, but what a win. What a win that was.
No, it was indeed. And actually, so let's do this. Actually, it didn't start off particularly brilliant, did it? Yeah, when we get the news, I think it was... Well, we got the team news at, 1:45. And so, okay, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Zubimendi, Rice, Havertz, Trossard, Saka, Gyökeres. So, okay, there's some talking points then. But then with 15 minutes to go before kickoff, we hear the news that Saka, it turns out he got a hip injury. And I saw it, saw a clip of it. And it was like when they do the rondos or they do their keep ball, session. And he's sort of just very innocuous and just sort of pulled up and you could tell something's not right. But bloody, that's him. That's Calafiori. I think Hincapié as well. I can't remember. There's at least been 3 players this season that have the warm up is meant to be a warm up. You're not meant to be killing yourself in the warm up. But how did you feel about that team? It also turns out Merino was injured as well. He's got a bit of a foot injury that could be out for a while. What a while means, I don't know. But yeah, how did you feel about that team when you saw that? Given we're facing Leeds away.
Yeah, the only huge surprise for me was that he went, well, not a huge surprise, but a surprise that he went with Havertz over Odegaard. But when you think about it, it probably isn't or shouldn't be a big surprise considering how well Havertz played and how kind of off form Martin Odegaard has been. Martin Odegaard is one of my heroes. I love him so much, but he has been way off the boil recently. So I was kind of happy with Havertz coming in. So yeah, I thought maybe Calafiori might have started over Hincapié, but other than that, no surprises. Real shame about Saka. Hopefully it's not long term. But thankfully it didn't hurt us. No,
it only hurt him. Well, you say hopefully not long term. Yeah, I mean the last one, Calafiori, he missed like a good six games and he's only just back. And yeah, it's something to be looked at. Yeah, it's a weird one because you've got to get yourself warmed up, as they say. You've got 90 minutes of football. You need to get your body firing for that. You can't go into a game cold. But but also how delicate are they that a warm up can do that to you? So yeah, it just shows you what sort of how delicately poised their fitness is, how sort of like such a fine line it is. So look, we won't know what exactly it is. It will just be the usual felt something. And we'll see, and that's what it is. So yeah, I was quite pleased. Actually, I like that. I said my initial concern before I found out about Merino is that not even having Merino on the bench, I thought that's a bit of a miss for this game, and I didn't even think about why he wasn't on there because also it meant our depth in midfield off the bench was also a bit light. So he was my only concern, and it turns out he's injured, so therefore he couldn't play. The rest of it, I said I wanted Hincapié over Calafiori for this game just because I think we needed a bit of more solid structure there, and what he can offer in terms of his sort of defensive strength and so on. And yeah, maybe Havertz in midfield. Maybe we're thinking of start up front, but no, look good. And obviously Madueke came came in instead of Saka, and actually he did a pretty good job. But it also shows the strength of our team now that, well, Nordegaard did get on the bench eventually, but Nordegaard and MLS, missing out. So we're so close. I'm sure we had a fully fit squad bar Dowman for like all of 25 minutes or something like that.
That's a record for us. And by the way, are you calling Christian Nordegaard?
Nordegaard. I just got the reason is because I've got in my notes here Nord as an abbreviation, so therefore Nordegaard. So Nordegaard. Sorry. Well, look, to be honest, if I tried to say actually how it's properly pronounced, I think we'll be here till next week trying to unscramble my tongue. So there we go. But anyway, look.
Best name I've heard him called. Phil Costa from other pods called him Norginho. As he basically reflects Jorginho.
Yes, well, yes, that's really, yes, that is very true. So good one. But anyway, so look, a very solid team, and one you expect going to, I think, 16th place Leeds to put a decent performance together. So from the game, what was your highlight and low light from the 4-0 drubbing of Leeds?
It's hard to pick one. I really loved the Gyökeres goal. I'm going to pick that as a highlight because he kind of did what we've been giving out about him not doing, and that's taking risks in the box. Now, obviously, the defender didn't cover himself in glory, but he just made Gyökeres made a nuisance of himself in the box and got any part of his body on it. It was a goal. I think that style of goal we needed. He probably should have scored before that when he was put clean through on goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked that goal. And Martinelli was excellent in the build-up to that goal as well. I thought he was really good. How he just nicked the ball away from the defender. It actually reminded me of Thierry Henry at the Bernabeu. Do you remember he was wasting time and he just tipped the ball away. I slid in. It was brilliant. So I really like that. Was my highlight. My low lights.
Yeah, sorry, just on that. So no, John, we'll get on to the highlight second. No, John, I think it was a really important goal, and you're right. There was that opportunity sort of quite soon into the half where he was sort of breaking away. He doesn't seem to get the ball out of his feet very well, and the times it has, I think it's been by accident rather than on purpose because sort of ricochets out. And that one chance. It was a really important goal because it was the one that made. I think we're all thinking, look, 2-0. Yeah, we're all a bit anxious, and I even messaged you just before Gyökeres scores at 70 minutes. They're like, right, what housework should I do? Because I tend to get nervous towards these games, and then I go in and doing housework just to distract myself. And if I'm not watching the game, then nothing bad will happen. That's apparently how it works, actually. So, I mean, my house is immaculate most of the time, given Arsenal games. But then he scores, and you're right. It was such an important goal, I think, for him as well. This is the sort of goal, the one he scored against Inter, and this goal are the ones we've signed him up for, the ones that we expect from him, the ones we've seen. And yes, the goalkeeper, the defender didn't cover himself in glory, but Gyökeres, he's a big unit, and maybe he did well to shield him from that. So, and you're right, Martinelli does brilliantly, and loved it, and I think we could all and relax. That was why it was such a highlight as well, if you could relax, because it's weird with 2-0 up, and now if you were to look at it game now, we were all. I was chatting to you, chatting in the Grove WhatsApp group. We were all still quite tense at 2-0. I don't know. Were you? I mean, I don't know. Irishman and all the rest of it. Maybe you're more chilled than the Italian man over here. But how were you feeling at 2-0?
Well, as I said to you when you texted me, I replied saying that it was tense, but I was comfortable because even though Leeds had stepped it up in a big way in the second half, they hadn't really created anything. They hadn't threatened. They'd gotten some good kind of territory and possession, but they hadn't created anything. So I was kind of okay. I felt okay because of that. If ever there is the phrase, the next goal is crucial, is never more pertinent when it's 2-0, because if it goes 2-1, the crowd gets on, gets up, and an equalizer is nearly inevitable. Whereas if it goes 3-0, the opposite happens. All the energy is sucked out of the crowd and the team. So, that's why when Gyök missed his not 1-on-1, but when he missed his first chance, I was gutted, but it wasn't that long after that we got the third and it killed the game. So So yeah, it was a
Yeah.
much needed third goal.
Yeah, I mean, let's use that to sort of discuss a little bit. We're a bit more on the hot off the pitch, we're a bit more random and a bit over the place, less structured. So I think, like you say, yeah, it was that in the second half, that third goal, it was key because you even at 2-0 down, Leeds came out in the second half, made some subs. They're going to try and get back into the game. The
Yeah.
crowd were behind them. You could hear them, and you just didn't want that because they are a very sort of, I think, emotionally driven team, and you can imagine the wind behind this. If they got one back, you just knew that it would be just like we would start to get tense. They would have everything in their favor, and we just and we had to ride it out the first 10-20 minutes of the second half. And again, it's going to be ones we look back and actually they created nothing. They were no real threat. It was all in front of us, all quite comfortable, but random stuff can happen. There was a few times the ball's bobbling around the box, and if it just breaks and someone has a shot, I think they had the header comfortably saved by Raya. But or if someone's kicking out and he misses the ball and he takes out a player and they get a penalty, like they did when we beat them 1-0 the last time we met at Elland Road. So you just like, we've been here before. We're scarred with shit happening, and look, we've let in 5 goals in our last 5 shots on target. So I think we're all just little bit scarred. But again, this is one in the very cold light of day. There was absolutely nothing to worry about other than Timber getting a second yellow. But there was nothing to
Which he tried to do. I thought when I saw that Callan go in on the keeper, I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean that's one where the keeper helps, saves you a bit because I think because they were was it 2? No, it was 3-0 at the time, I think. Yeah, that's the keeper gets out. Other keeper, that was Martinez for Aston Villa. He's going to be rolling around as if he's being shot, and look, the way he went into it, it's not a yellow card offence, but you never know. And you're trying to. I think that second half, I thought Atwell did really well in the first half. I think it was physical and fair on both sides. It wasn't over the top. It's what you're going to get from Leeds, but we gave as good as we get. I felt like he started to favour Leeds a bit in the second half, let him get away with a bit more. So I think he got carried away with the game a bit. And initially, I thought actually the first yellow on Timber, it looked harsh, but then when you saw it again, it was a yellow. And then you're just thinking, again on the group chat, get him off, get him off. And I'm surprised we didn't take him off, especially that 3-4-0. But you just, again, stupid stuff happens.
Yeah.
We haven't had a red card all season, and you're sort of just waiting. Is it going to happen at some point? But luckily it didn't. So anyway, yeah, I think we managed that second half really well, and that third goal killed it. So what was your low light then from the game?
Low light. Well, you could say Saka getting injured, but I think my low light was Calvert-Lewin getting away with that tackle. I am not saying it was a red card. I posted a screenshot on the socials, and I know screenshots always look worse than what happens. But from not to get a yellow card, I was convinced he was going to get booked in the second half, and it would have been one of those like he shouldn't be still on the pitch. It was at least a yellow card. It just annoyed me more than anything else. And as well, look, if I had been a little bit more forceful, I could have done a lot of damage to Gabriel. So just it was his tackle, and for there not to be at least like a yellow card at least, is my low light.
Yeah, I mean he's very close to possibly being a red as well. And the commentator was going, "Oh, just Gabriel would just run it off," and I don't think they realised until they showed the replay. It was like actually, you're right. It was a pretty nasty challenge. Orange as they say, but not even to get a yellow. And I'm sure they reviewed it, and again, you can't review a yellow, so I'm sure it wasn't enough to be a red. But they can't review to give a yellow. So I mean I don't think it was like impactful and it's going to really damage Gabriel. It's just a bit nasty, a bit of a studs down the shins, which is always a bit painful. So I can see why. But then I think the accumulation of fouls, I think a player got booked very soon afterwards, just to like, okay, we need to give a yellow card here, and so I think Atwell did well. As I said, first half did well. Second half, I think he got carried away with the Leeds crowd. I mean, for me, my highlight and lowlights were the highlight was how we dealt with the Saka blow and how Madueke played. I thought he had we were quite right-hand side dominant this game, in especially in the first half, I think it was a very typical Madueke game in terms of threat, hard to, you're making dangerous runs into the box, hard to sort of tackle, hard to get hold of, and he had end product today. If we look at the first goal, how it comes out to him, and just when you see that cross going in, you just needs a head. Someone get a head on it, and that's a goal. As soon as you cross it, because it was just sort of like, lowish trajectory, flat, hard, and I just thought you just need a flick, and that's going in. So that was a great cross. But actually, and actually, Zubimendi, because he got there sort of towards the near post on it, instead of flicking it, he sort of redirected it. And I think it was a great cross, great guy. It's just when they say he's crying out for someone to get a head on it, it was really good. I thought that, and then and I think he was just a threat all game, and then also he got the Arsenal bingo goal. So an own goal and a corner kick. So again, another good corner. What made me laugh? There was actually an Arsenal player in sight. I don't know if it was a good corner or not, but he was under no pressure. I think he could have caught it, but because everyone is now so panicked in the defence by Arsenal corners, they don't think rationally, and he went with it two-fisted, and he ham-fisted it into his net. So what did you make of Madueke's performance and his influence on the goals?
I thought he was excellent. I think it was probably his best half in an Arsenal shirt so far, and he was very good away at when he scored that wonder goal. Who was that against? Bruges, was it?
Bruges, yeah.
Or Brugge, and he was excellent today, and to the point where we were kind of set with I was going to say Saka who, but yeah, that's blasphemy. But you know what I mean? Like, we didn't miss Saka at all in the first half, or in the whole game. But he was really, really good. His output at the very start of the game, he did one of his usuals, because he had loads of these incidences against Kairat where he easily beat his man, he'd take him down to the line, and then he just fluff his lines. And he had one kind of in the first 5 minutes, and I was listening to the Arsenal.com commentary, and because I had the game, I had the Premier Sports here in Ireland, I had them muted, and I was listening, and Adrian Clark said the same thing. He said that's a little bit worrying that he's continuing on from where he left off against Kairat. But thankfully after that, his output was really good. His final delivery was excellent, and I think it's a sin that he doesn't get an assist for the OG. His corner was really, really good. It was just hilarious that the goalkeeper could have just caught it. If his defenders weren't there, he would have just caught it. But the defenders were so panicked because they thought the Arsenal players were going to be right there as well. But I genuinely take huge credit. I'm actually starting to really love our corners, because at first I thought, like, I was kind of listening to the corner FC, set piece FC, saying, like, I'd love us to score more goals from open play. But the more I see them, like, and that today
we scored 3 today from open play, so there you go.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I love it now. I absolutely love it when we score from a corner. I loved it anyway, but I just think we're so good at them. We've said it before, they are works of art. These are worked on, and they are works of art. And I smiled a lot when that one went in, because it was just a calamity, but it just proved how scared the opposition are of our corners.
Yeah, and the commentators kept on going on about it, which, again, it's like everyone else does corners in the same way. Like, oh, look at Arsenal all crowding the keeper. Watch every corner that takes place in the break. They all crowd the goalkeeper. They just, what they don't have is maybe the predefined movement down to a T and the delivery. Other than that, everyone else does corners in the same way, and so on. So it's and look, they are. I think initially we were thinking they're not sustainable. Well, they are sustainable. Yeah. They are sustainable.
They really are.
Yeah, and again, how are we getting corners? Because look, if you look at that first half, the first half was very close affair. So the first 20 minutes, not a lot happening. I think even someone in the group chat said, "Oh, I'm not watching. I can't. How are we playing?" I said, "Just average. Not a lot." It was physical, but nothing over the top, as I said. no team was giving each other space. Leeds were looking to be direct. And I think we just sort of was trying to sort of like, okay, how's the game going to pan out? What sort of game's going to come to us? But we didn't want to give them anything to be too excited about. So we just kept it a bit low key. Don't let them get the momentum. Don't let the crowd get in. And I said this in the preview pod, if we can quieten the crowd, take the emotion out, that's half the battle then. And then from 21 minutes through to the end of the second half, it was just all us. And I think we had 7 corners. We didn't let them out of our half. We gave them nothing, pinned them back in their final third. And it's not like they were defending deep purposely as a tactic. It's just they couldn't get out. So I think in terms of how we do that, and then through that pressure, we got 7 corners. And so fine, if we don't score enough, it's not like they're turning around and booting the ball out. We are creating pressure. We're trying to be attacking, and they're having to defend for their lives.
You don't get corners by passing the ball around in defence.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, unless you're Arsenal, who maybe boot the ball out for give away the ball, odd ball or two. But yeah, no, I'm just joking. But yeah, so we put them under pressure. And yeah, and it's great, and now it's sort of generally okay. We get law of averages, or even just sheer weight of pressure. We will score from 1 corners. You give us 7 corners in the first half, it'll be very rare that we don't take that. And it's great that we have that tool. And I think it is that threat that makes teams nervous now. And so even just the thought of Arsenal having a corner is a worry, and things like that. The commentators also tried to, I know at half time on I think it was Peacock, I think they were looking for stuff, and they tried to, was there a foul throw by Rice 10 minutes before he scored? So okay, come on.
Today was the first time I ever synced up the TV with Arsenal.com. And
they deliberately say something at the beginning, so you know that it's synced up.
Yeah. I didn't do it from the very start. I did it after about 5 minutes because the commentary, the Premier Sports commentary, was annoying me. But it doesn't take much to sync it up, and you're probably about 5, 6, 7 seconds behind, live. Yeah. But I'd highly recommend it because now, of course, it's an Arsenal biased commentary, but it's still very good. They're a hell of a lot more intelligent, shall we say, than these broadcasters. It's I'd highly recommend.
Yeah, and so just on one thing, I shared this stat with you. So we went through the first goals with Mendy, Arsenal bingo goal 2-0. Arsenal top goal scorers in the Premier League 25-26, and I'm doing it in reverse order. Declan Rice on 4, Eberechi Eze on 4, Martin Zubimendi on 4, Bukayo Saka on 4, Mikel Merino on 4. These are great numbers. Well, actually, so joking aside, I wonder how many teams have that consistency of players across the team scoring that. Okay, they're relatively low numbers, but they will add up. Trossard on 5, Victor Gyökeres on 5, and top on 5 purely by alphabetically is I don't remember this signing. Owen goal. Own goal. Unbelievable. Is our equal top scorer.
Now, number 1, I ain't gonna get own goal put on the back of my jerseys from that. But that was at half time, so I think Vic has just overtaken.
Oh yes, he's gone to 6 now. Of course, it's at half time. So. Yeah, okay, second top scorer, but there you go.
Own goals. He's gonna have to get his finger out now. Own goal is.
What a free signing. What a free signing. So no, good stuff. Look, so that all sort of stemmed from my highlight, and my low light is just my own inability to not be able to see the game and stay chill at 2-0 up. just like but I did think I said I was thinking at halftime, just nothing stupid with 2-0 up. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe if it was like earlier in the season, then you're like, this is fine. I can put my feet up. No worries. But yeah, my low light is just that even at 2-0 up, and even I look at, if you watch that game, it's like, where's the drama? Where's the chill? But that's football for you. And it's weird. I don't feel like that in the stadium. It's only when I'm at home.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Who was I talking to recently? I think it was somebody on the way back from the Man United game. I was saying that, or maybe on the way to the game, I was saying that it's a lot easier going to the game, in the build up to a game, I find, because, well, for me anyway, because I'm up so early and I'm getting flights and all that kind of stuff, you're just concentrating on getting to the stadium. Whereas, and even during the game, like it's different. Whereas if you're watching at home, you've all day to think about it and whatnot. But but I was like you for the first 15, 20 minutes. I was just like, oh my God, we weren't playing well. But neither, not that we weren't playing well, but we weren't doing much. But neither were they. It's one thing I've learned to do. Like, I'll panic and kind of not be chill like you, where if they're peppering our goal, for example, I've learned to chill out if the opposition, are always going to have a period of possession and territory, where they're on top. Like, you don't dominate games for 90 minutes, not in the Premier League, and especially not away at home. So I think it's something I've learned over the years, is to just, they're going to have the ball. That's fine. There's no danger, so let's pick them off. And I said this to you afterwards, and it's easy to say this after the fact, but when you were texting me saying it's like, it's tense and you like, what chore should you do? I very nearly replied back saying, we're going to go up to the other end here and score, but I didn't. And I'm raging because it wasn't. What was it, about 4 or 5 minutes later?
No, even less than that. I think I was literally just typing my response, and we scored. Brilliant. So here's a stat for you that's just come on up on X from Richard. Today's result means Arsenal are guaranteed to finish above Wolves this season. Okay, so that's one team. Tick. 18 more to go. So there we go. Wolves. That'll be yours.
Wolverhampton's day has happened.
St. Wolfie's Day. St. Wolfie's Day. There we go. All right. Look, some stats for you. And look, and again, this is just how football is. But I mean, but this also goes to show how dominant we were. So the whole game. Yeah, 49.
Sorry for cutting across. Do you want me to give you some good news?
What's Chelsea losing?
Yes. West Ham are beating Chelsea 1-0.
Wow, look at that. West Ham are beating Chelsea 1-0. So the West Ham renaissance is continues. Fingers crossed. To me, I'm not fussed about the result. I just want injuries and red cards and all the rest of it. So there you go. But not life-threatening injuries, just some that put them out for the rest of the season. All right. Anyway, stats. So for the whole game, 49% possession to them, 51 to us. Yeah, that's right. The XG was 0.15. How am I getting nervous at 0.15 XG? Yeah, exactly. 2.39. Yeah. Total shots, they had 3 to our 14. They had 1 on target to our 8. And I think that 1 on target, that was that weak header. 0 big chances to our 7. We missed 5 big chances. Like last week against Man United, I think we had or even against Kairat, we had similar XG and stuff like that, and that we're only scoring 2 and 3. I think it was against Man United or Kairat or something like that. We had an XG of 4 or something like that, and we only score 3. And this one we have an XG of 2.39. We score 4, and it just goes to show sort of like just the variance. And you take your chances. What a difference can make. And look, in the first half, Leeds had 0.02 XG. In the second half they had 0.13, and we had. So
you wanted to do some housework.
Yeah, and I know it's nuts, but it's saying that in the first half we had 0.26 XG, so it's not like we definitely overperformed in that first half. But anyway, I think look, overall those stats show what a dominant performance it was, and it was like a much needed, I say, tonic. What we needed after the last few Premier League performances. It was really good to see. It was nice to keep that clean sheet. Just get back on the horse or get back on the boat or whatever analogy or travel in whatever vehicle or traveling device you want to use, whatever it is I'm trying to say. But look, in general, how did you feel just about our performance and the game as a whole?
I was like, for me, it bodes really well for the rest of the season. The way we played today, I was really worried. We've just gone, 3 games without a win, had a heartbreaking defeat at home to one of our historical big rivals. We drew 0-0 with Liverpool at home when we were fancied to handily beat them. We went away to Forest and drew 0-0. So there was a little trend going, but today we kind of righted all those wrongs, and it gave me a lot of I know Leeds are near the bottom of the table and they're there for a reason, but it's a really tough away ground. And when you go there having not been great in the league the last few games and put in a performance like that, I was really, really happy now, I have to say. very, very professional, very creative. We like, aside from the 4 goals, like if that had to finish 6-0, I don't think there would have been too many heads being scratched or anything like that. So I was so happy for the 3 points. I would have taken a 1-0 last minute deflection to get 3 points today. But the bonus has been how well we played, how many goals we scored. Great for goal difference as well. And a little, I shouldn't count my chickens, but if West Ham, little side thing for this, if West Ham stay 1-0, let's say West Ham beat Chelsea today, Tottenham Hotspur are 5 points above the relegation zone. I'm not joking. Check the league table. They are 5 points above West Ham, and they will not want to throw tomorrow's game against Man City. Like they need points.
Hell yes.
So West Ham, please do us a solid and stay where you are.
Come on, you Irons. I mean, look, for me, yeah, you're right. I think they're 16th in the league, but actually their home form has been really good. I think they've only lost once at home. They've got a +7 odd goal difference at home. Their home form is good. So they're actually going to Elland Road is not easy. I think Chelsea drew there, Liverpool drew there. They've only lost one out. They're the informed team. They've only lost one out of the last 10 games. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was on a run of scoring. He scored like 6-7 goals recently. Like maybe 6 in the last 8 or something like that. So it's not easy. As I said, we've talked about the atmosphere there. So and it's up north. We're not exactly the best team when we travel north of the Watford Gap. So I just thought it was a very good, very professional, no nonsense win. Very comfortable in the end. We showed our dominance, and it was good that we showed our dominance against the team that we should be showing our dominance against. And dispatching teams. Now, the one thing about Leeds is that they did not sit behind the ball with 10 men. They tried to have a go. They tried to play, and all the rest of it. It's not like it was like Nottingham Forest, who really only had that one tactic. So I guess that helps us a bit. So I think it was, but still, nonetheless, I think an impressive performance given it. And again, just one that we needed that will fill us with confidence. And it was also good to see how we changed the team up, away. Because I think away from the Emirates to home, I think will be a very different affair.
At the start of the season, Leeds were playing a 4-4-2. They were playing 4 at the back, and they were getting smashed left, right, and centre. Daniel Farke changed it to a back 3 or back 5, whichever way you want to look at it. And since then, they've been really, really good. And so go there, and as you said, one defeat all season at Elland Road, and to go there and dismantle them the way we did, chef's kiss.
Yeah. Chef's kiss indeed. And look, the icing on the cake was the Jesus goal. He had a chance before that with a header, either side of the goalkeeper that goes in. And actually, talking about like headers and either side of the goalkeeper, look, Zubimendi scores great header. Goalkeeper gets it. Last week, I think very similar chance. Goalkeeper saves it. That's how football can just be. 1 week you get it in your way, 1 week it doesn't. But Jesus, go on.
Go say that the header, Jesus. I don't know if you can put it down to bad technique, but if you watch that header, he hits it with the crown of his head right at the top.
Right. Okay.
Instead of his forehead, because if you hit it with your forehead, you can guide it.
Yeah.
He kind of headed it too early, if that makes sense, and it just came off here. And there's only one thing that's going to happen if you do that. It's just going to go straight ahead.
So basically, like you and I, how we would header it in our head.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And walk off holding our head
with a bloody headache. Look, he actually had a chance before that. There was one, I think, Rice barnstorming run. Why he doesn't shoot? I want Rice to shoot there, but he lays it off twice, and Jesus again doesn't get the curl on the ball. But then he does really well for the third goal. Odegaard played a forward pass. Hallelujah. I'm not on that bandwagon, don't worry. But I know some people are. And he did very Jesus twisty turny things. Trademark Blackadder, and fired it home into the bottom corner. So that was a really nice goal. So that was the icing on the cake. And look, after we scored the third, in fact, we had chances to score more. I think even Calafiori had a header as well. So look, I think Leeds, that was it. They were done. So game over. He just did great for the goal difference. City play Spurs tomorrow, and City. It's so funny. You see the fans, and again, Frank in the pre-match presser having to justify. How does it feel that Tottenham, your fans want you to lose, Tyler? How embarrassing is that for a club to have it,
I
that
know.
thing that it's known that actually the fans, and even for the Spurs fans, just focus on your own club, focus on what you need to do. If we do what we do, so what? It's just nuts. And Villa play Brentford at home, but Villa have a bit of an injury crisis at the moment. So, in a certain world, this time tomorrow evening could be seeing 7 points. No, not 7 points. How are we? We're 7 points. Yeah, 7 points pretty again. So, don't know how are you feeling about tomorrow's games in our current position?
Well, obviously, I was just so happy to get the 3 points today, because not that you can say tomorrow doesn't matter, but like it's not detrimental if Man City win. We know that Spurs are Man City bogey team for some reason, and they're shit.
Yeah.
5 points above relegation, don't you know? And I would laugh my ass off tomorrow if they won. This is a little bit of a sidetrack. We were over at the Man United game with my two cousins at the weekend, and one of my cousins, my female cousin Sinead, was married to a guy from London for a long time, and going back to the 1999 season, something we don't really want to think about. The last day of the season, we were at home to Aston Villa, and Spurs were away to Man United, and had we bettered Man United result, we would have won the league. And Sinead and her husband at the time had an argument because he still wanted Spurs to lose away at Old Trafford, even though that would have meant that we didn't win the league. And I don't know if you remember that Spurs went 1-0 up in that game. Les Ferdinand scored, and he was gutted. He wanted Spurs to lose because he didn't want to have to rely on Tottenham to win the league. And that blew my mind. It was like, and I thought, look,
we win the league, and I gave Tottenham all to help hand us the trophy.
Yeah, and that's what Sinead was saying. Like she was like, "What are you talking about?" And she said that they went back to the pub afterwards, and they posed that question to everybody there. They're all Arsenal fans, and they all agreed. They all said, "No, we didn't want to rely on Spurs." And now it's easy for me as an Irishman. I hate Spurs, but I know there is a real hate in the community, I suppose, locally. So maybe it's different for people from London. So I have to take a step back from that. But I just couldn't get my head around that. Like, how do you feel about that? Going by your response, I don't think you agreed.
No. Look, I worry about Arsenal. Look, what happens with other people, that's down to them. That has no influence on us. It's a fan thing. And I find it embarrassing. Okay, if our fans are celebrating, okay, it's a bit of banter. So if it happens, okay, at the end of the game, and we get, if Spurs get beat by City, but deservedly so, then fine, I will laugh. I know if Arsenal got beat by City and it benefited, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to muddle it. Yeah, would it? But basically, I wouldn't go there actively wanting us to lose. But if we did lose and it was to the detriment of Spurs, then I would laugh after.
You would have a giggle.
Yeah, after the fact. But I wouldn't be there beforehand, be happy about it or the rest of it. Because and look, I've just seen a tweet come up, an X come up. Really, Man United fought for their lives against us last week, and it benefited Man City. They're not going, they're not going, oh damn, I wish we'd lost, because then it means less for Man City. And to be honest,
they were delighted.
And I think it's a bit like everyone else. No one cares if Man City wins the league, because just no one cares about Man City, and they can write it off. Whereas if we win the league, why aren't we doing that? Because Man City won X charges, and the robot up front, all the rest of it, they can write that off, and there's no emotion about it. It's Man City, so what? But with us winning it, I think there's a bit more to it, because then it reflects badly on them. So, well, if Arsenal can do it, why can't we? But yeah, no, I wouldn't. After the fact, yes, but not beforehand, and not during it. But fans being the Poznan doing the game is just like embarrassing.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Sorry.
Say you wouldn't be doing the Poznan in the stadium if roles were reversed.
Yeah, I would do it never. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so look, but whilst I go and look at the 3-word reviews, do you have a man of the match and non-man of the match?
A man of the match and non-man of the match.
Well, and by that I don't mean a gender-based discussion. I just did anyone who stood out and maybe who didn't. But you don't have to say anyone who didn't.
No, I would probably say, like, probably the obvious one might be Declan Rice, but I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say for me, man of the match was Victor Gyökeres. I thought he worked tirelessly. He fought for every ball. He was very physical as he has been. He got his goal. He got his just desserts and his reward. I would love to have seen him score that goal where he went through. But it is, as we all know, it's easier for a defender if you're running with a ball. It's easier to catch up when you don't have a ball. I'm not defending Gyökeres. He probably should have shot earlier. But it is easier to catch up with somebody who's running with a ball, but still he should have scored. So over the last few games, I know he scored during the week against, the worst team in the Champions League. But it's still, like, I don't know if there's just something happening with him, that he's starting very slowly to get his confidence up. And if he scores 7 or 8 goals between now and the end of the season in the league, that would be huge for us. And like, he's starting to trend that way, So I that's who I'm going to pick. Did anybody not stand out? No, I thought everybody was excellent today. Like, I can't pick anybody as a, yeah.
No. It's just the stock questions, and it's fine. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Rice one for me.
Yeah.
I think he was just excellent, and from a defensive perspective, he seemed to be such a shield in front of the back four. He was mopping everything up. He had a few of those driving runs, but he just epitomized that performance yesterday in terms of that will to win and that control and just, yeah. So he for me was pretty special, even though he wasn't. Go.
That performance today, you're so used to doing the main pod. You said that performance yesterday.
Oh, did I not go? All right, it's history. We've moved on already from Leeds. I'm really thinking about Chelsea, so yeah, we moved on, and we will get
your
to
memory
Chelsea.
muscle just taught the same yesterday.
Oh yeah. So that performance half an hour ago was pretty good. I think it was excellent. It's one of those ones you look back and he's just everywhere, just running the show, and really really good to see him. Yeah, I think everyone else was pretty good. Okay, so onto your 3 words reviews, and thank you for sending them in. Let's start off with Blue Sky. Sid Silk, that's a paddling, and sent with a nice little meme from The Simpsons. Crispy Welch Esquire, nonetheless. Big Vic scored. Yes, he did. He certainly did. And Ryan from Cross RJ at Blue Sky Social, bounce back ability. There we go. Good one. Right. On to, I did have threads somewhere. Oh, here we go. Threads. Silas Birtwhistle, confident, calm, clinical. Yeah, I like that. That's definitely true. And the Johnny Man, more like it. Definitely. And then on to X. Ian, you came with 5-star performance. Can I change that to 4-star performance?
No, I very nearly did delete it and put in 4-star performance, but no, it was a 5-star performance. We just didn't get the fit.
We just didn't get. Well, there we go. Look, the clean sheet is the other star. There you go.
Oh, thanks, Tabs. Yeah,
I'll save you that. And dubs for Sam. I'm not reading yours because you can't count. There we go.
No, you have to. He's a friend of mine. You have to read that.
No. I'm very strict on the. I'm very look. If he did, he said match of the day, but yeah, that's 4. So that's sorry, 4. Dubs.
I'll have a chat with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 is the magic number. Right. Okay. And then on to the Grove WhatsApp chat. So where are we at? And this will just take me 2 seconds to do a search for word. Okay, so we had Cincy, much better performance. It was indeed. And Moz, we're so back. Mads, Gyok got fed. Normie, fog, what fog? Henry, who needs Saka? Here we go. Saka, get to the bench. Matt Stacey, Nonny is class. He is indeed. Well, he was indeed today. Owen, what doctor ordered? Yeah, it was indeed. Anything else? No, that was it. Okay, Cool. All right. Thank you for those. Okay, so right. That's that. Right. We're back on the horse, back on the boat for the Premiership. That's one job done this week. So on to our next job. We play those clowns from West London in the EFL Cup semi-final second leg on Tuesday. Thank God I did this because I was going to turn up on Wednesday. Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Yeah, regular listeners will know how much I hate that clown car of a club. There's a potential for lots of fun to be had should we get through to the final. But on the flip side, if we lose and given our position, it's going to be unbearable. So, look, in the first leg, we should really have put the tie to bed and made this game much, much easier. We went strong. We played really well. It was a fairly open game. We had a lot of chances. But as is our want, up until 3 o'clock today, we kept letting them back in. 3-1. Should have been 4-1. Instead, it ends up 3-2. So still in our favour. Bit tinged with regret. And it's one of those games where both teams come away equally happy and unhappy. So, look, how are you feeling about this game? How do you think we're going to approach it? And we've got Sunderland at the weekend. And I've got a question for you. So this is sort of gonna sort of maybe influence how you think about this game and the lineup. 3 points against Sunderland, or we get to Wembley?
I think we're going to get both. I think we're going to get both, right?
No. If you could only choose one,
I know. If I had to choose, I would take 3 points against Sunderland. 100%. We've had this conversation before. We need to win the big ones. The Carabao Cup would be amazing. It would be amazing, and it's not to be sniffed at. It's a trophy. Man City went 6 years in a row or something winning it. Big teams take these competitions seriously. Mm-hmm. But it's been so long for us now that we need to win the Premier League. And I would take 3 points at the weekend, especially with Man City playing Liverpool that same weekend. And Villa, I was looking at Villa's next 5 games. I think I mentioned this before.
Yeah, you did. You posted about this.
Yeah, they're all winnable. They've got Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth, Leeds, and another kind of lower team. Like, they've got 5 games in a row that on paper, we know football's played on grass, but on paper they should win. So you can't dismiss them. So 3 points, 100%. But I think we're going to put Chelsea to the sword. Well, not to the sword. I'm not saying we're going to batter them, but I think we can take care of business.
Take care of business. So what would sort of lineup would you go with? Because I said given Sunderland, given who and how we play today, what would your thinking be?
My thinking would be go strong, but not your strongest. But I again, Mikel Arteta will go strong. Mikel Arteta is an incredibly competitive guy. He'll probably make 2-3 changes to the team that played today, and they're probably going to be in the front line. Like, he might play Martinelli instead of Trossard. But he might be forced into playing Madueke now. Saka's out for a few games. He might play Calafiori instead of Hincapié. But other than that, I think he's going to play his first team. So
Raya instead of Kepa? Or do you think Kepa keeps his place?
No, I think he will play Kepa. He's our cup keeper. I play Kepa.
I mean, okay. Where I was thinking, I was like, Kepa, White. I think he goes Saliba and Big G in the middle, and then Calafiori at the back. I'd suggest I had Merino in here until I heard about his injury. I think Nordgaard, Odegaard. I don't want to see Rice there, and I don't want to see Zubimendi, but I think one of those two may play. So I'd suggest Nordgaard, Odegaard. Eze, is that too lightweight in midfield against Chelsea when you've got Caicedo and the other Pillock? I can't remember his name, the tattooed one. Forgot Enzo. Yeah, that's it. Fernando. Yeah. So it might be a bit lightweight. So I think he has to play. It's such a this would have been so Merino game, and it's so or you play Havertz again, but maybe Havertz again. He came off 60 minutes, so maybe Nordgaard, Odegaard, Havertz, or Nordgaard, Eze, Havertz.
I genuinely don't think he's going to play Norgard. This is a semi-final of a major competition.
Yeah, but we're winning 3-2. We're at home.
Even still, you don't take chances. Now, it could be completely wrong. Nothing would surprise me with the lineup, but I think he's going to go full beans in terms of our midfield.
Yeah, I don't know. See, and then Madueke or Madueke, Jesus Nelly. We've got options. We've got loads of options. So it's just pointless predicting. One, because we don't know what Arteta's thinking. Two, who's going to be fit, who isn't fit, and all the rest of it. I think the thing about Sunderland is it's not Sunderland away. We're at home. They're on a bit of a downward trend at the moment. They're sort of regressing. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's not the same them being at Stadium of Light. And even then, we should have beaten them. It was just like a 94. So maybe maybe actually the Sunderland game, more important, is an easier game. Look, Chelsea, yeah, they have to go for it. They're 3-2 down. They have to win. Well, okay, to stop it from. I don't think there's away goals in this. I should have checked, but I don't think there's away goals. So they have to at least win by 1 goal to take it to penalties, and if not,
Yeah,
is it 2-0?
Yes.
No. And this is it at West Ham or is it Chelsea?
This is at Chelsea. This is at Stamford Bridge.
Oh my God! Oh, well, look, mate, have they rested players for the Arsenal game?
I don't know. I don't have that much interest in Chelsea to check.
Wow, 2-0. That's nuts. Okay, let's go. And what's that? That's almost coming up to half time. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, West Ham.
Go on, you Irons. Okay, so yeah, who knows? And so yeah, look, whilst I look that up, in a way, let me know your thoughts about also if we get to the final. Here we go. If we get to the final, that means the Wolves game. And you said this might be a good thing. So the Wolves game would then be moved from Saturday, 21st of March to Wednesday, the 18th of February. So like almost a month beforehand. And that gives us we've played 1 game extra. And if we get to the final and it's likely against City, we would have the League Cup final on the 22nd of March against City. And then also there's a chance we play City in the Champions League quarter-final on the 7th or 8th of April. And then the second leg at home would be on the 14th and 15th of April. And then we've got City away on Saturday, the 18th of April. Why do you think playing Wolves early is a good thing? And how sick of City are you going to be if all that pans out?
Well, I think if we obviously win the Wolves game, which we should, but at the same time, you think of the home game against Wolves, we nearly threw 2 points away. But I just think having 3 points on the board early would be huge. Now, I tweeted that out saying this could be like a really good thing if we get 3 points on board to put pressure on the others. But I completely forgot that Man City were also in the same boat, because if Man City beat Newcastle, which they should, or go through against Newcastle, more than likely whoever they're playing that weekend will be on the same midweek that we're playing. We due to play Wolves, so there's probably no advantage. Only Aston Villa potentially could be damaged by that. But yeah, I just think to get to play a game early and put 3 points on the board and hanging over teams, I think would be great. I just think now obviously the reverse can happen if you lose it and the team's having a game in hand, or if you don't win it even. But today's game has given me more hope that we can go to grounds like the Molineux and just put in a solid performance and beat them,
Yeah, but it could end up being just like a month of City. Just could you imagine? And just the energy and the effort and the mental strain that would put on everyone, depending on how the results pan out. I mean, it could be brilliant. We could win all 4 and it'd be like, wow. But that's going to be, I've got a feeling that's going to happen. I've got a feeling the way the Champions League is going to pan out and all the rest of it is just going to work out.
Who would City get? Who are City's potential opponents in the round of 16?
I didn't look it up, but it's just the fact that that's a potential means that it's a bit like us. We have relatively straightforward games. I think it was the same for City. Let me see. I did have a whole bracket thing, but last time, but yeah, it's I've got a feeling that it could be that. Where we go, post Kairat pre-Leeds. Here we go. Here are my notes. Here's the bracket. I've got a big old bracket going along here.
By the way, I'm going over to the game on Tuesday against Chelsea.
Oh, okay. Good, not Wednesday. Yeah, so it might be. Oh, here we go. So it's well, actually, maybe not. So it's Bodo Glimt, Benfica. Wait, no, it's Benfica versus Real Madrid, and Internazionale versus Bodo Glimt, and then either Real Madrid or Inter will play Sporting or Man City. So it's not a given, actually. Not a given. Yeah,
that's why I asked, because I did look at that yesterday in work. I couldn't remember who it was now, but like I in the back of my head, I knew that there was a chance that City might not get through to the quarterfinals. Now they'd still be favourites, but they're not guineas. If they got Inter, even Sporting, like if they put it up to them a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think they can. So because Sporting qualified in 7th and Man City in 8th.
Oh, sorry.
So
right.
Yeah. So basically they'll play Real Madrid or Inter. So yeah, no, actually, so it might not work out like that, but it's one of those ones. Do you want them to be playing extra Champions League games to fatigue the league? Anyway, let's not worry about that for now. We'll worry about that in a bit. Anyway, the boy GT14 Gianluca, with his 3-word review, was big bounce back. So thank you very, very much for that.
He was. I think he was talking about Beyonce there.
Yes, he might have been. Right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, what are your thoughts as far as the Chelsea game is? We've got a really good home record against them. I think they'll want to. Yeah, they don't want to lose. I think they'll go big as well. I think they've got relatively strong, full strength team. I mean, Caicedo didn't play last time. James didn't play. Who else didn't play? There was a couple of others that were out. And Cole Palmer always dodges. You got your draft dodgers and you got your Arsenal dodgers, and Palmer's definitely an Arsenal dodger. Their recent form, okay, they're getting beaten by West Ham at home 2-0 at the moment, but before that they beat Palace 3-1 last week, Brentford 2-0 the week before, but then before that they lost to Chelsea, they drew with City, drew with Bournemouth, lost to Villa, drew with Newcastle, beat Everton. These are all the results, and they beat us 1-1. Yeah, so yeah, they're very up and down. Yeah, mixed team. They don't have a great record at our place. How much are we winning this by? How do you think it's going to pan out? What do you reckon? What's your prediction?
I actually think it's going to be a little bit similar to today's game. That Chelsea, as you just said, they have to go for it a little bit, and they'll come out all guns blazing. Not all guns blazing, because they're not 4 down, they're 1 goal down. So, but they will come out strong, I think, and we'll just pick them off. That's how I see it going. They'll have to come out a little bit. They can't just sit back and defend and do it like a classic away performance. They have to score. It's a real shame we didn't win by the margin that we should have, because
4-1, it should have been 4-1. Should have been 4-1.
Yeah, the game, the tie should be over, and we could be resting more players and so on. But I just think, I'm not saying we're going to win 4-0 like today, but I think we'll pick them off because of the tie state. I won't say game state, but the tie state. And I'm going to go for, I think we're beating 2-0.
2-0. Okay. Just let you know, away goals do not count. So if basically they have to win, if they want to get through, they have to win by 2 clear goals. A 1-goal win will take us to penalties.
Is extra time first or straight penalties?
Extra time and then penalties, I think. Yeah, because it's a semi-final. It's only the FA Cup that they don't do that, but yeah, it's extra time. Actually, oh god, let me just double check. Is there extra time in EFL Cup semi-final? Oh, Summit. Semi. Why they? From 2018 to 19, extra time was scrapped for all rounds except the final. Oh wow, the away goals were scrapped with ties that will go straight to. Okay.
So sorry, say that again.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go. Is there extra time in the EFL Cup semi-final? This is when. Oh, for God's sake! Can I just have a simple answer? Is there extra time in the EFL Cup semi-finals? All right, come on. I haven't got a clear one. I've got Wikipedia saying one thing. Is there extra time in Cowboy? Until the first semi-final stage. So I think there will be extra time. Yeah, extra time and then penalties. Okay, there we go. Anyway, we'll have it done by.
It's not gonna come to fruition.
No, there we go. Look, it's a London derby against hated rivals. A chance to go to Wembley, win a trophy. Rossignol will want to make his mark, so he'll go. He'll want to make a statement. So and you know what those thugs are like in the midfield. I want to also, of course, I want to get out there with the win, but I just don't want it to turn into a battle. Look, they've got Champions League qualification is still their primary target, I'd suggest, and given how they're playing now, they've got to really focus on that. So I just don't want it to kill us. Don't want to leave with injuries. I don't want it to turn into a battle. I mean, luckily it's Tuesday. We didn't have too much of a strenuous game today. Sunderland is on Saturday, 3:00, so we'll have time to recover. Yeah, I see a win. I said we've got a good head-to-head. I think the last time we lost was we had Pablo Maria at centre-back up against Romelu Lukaku. The mismatches of all mismatches, and we lost 2-0 at home. I think we're going to be just too good for them. 2-1 maybe. Yeah, I think they're going to have to go for it. If they keep it tight, and they're going to have to go for it up until last bit, so maybe we can pick them off, use our pace. So we'll see. But I'm confident we've got one foot in the door, and I think we'll get the other foot in, and we'll be at Wembley in March. Okay, there we go. So thank you for joining us on the live stream. Thank you with your 3-word reviews and stuff like that. So really appreciate it. Thank you, Ian, for joining me and keeping me chill this afternoon.
You're very welcome, Tabs. It's always nice to talk about a great win like that. So let's keep it up.
Yeah, and hopefully this was recorded. All the metrics look good. So otherwise, we just had a very nice chat again. Again. I love it anyway. Even if we don't get this recorded, it's still all fine. Anyway, where can people find you, and what do you do?
People can find me on all the social media platforms at Ars Cannon Pics, where you send me a picture of your cannon anywhere in the world, and I'll post it out and to the Arsenal community. Cool.
And maybe I'll see if I can see you on Tuesday. Depends on work and what time I can head off. Look, you can follow us on Threads, Blue Sky, X, Insta, TikTok. We have a YouTube channel, and we're on the podcast apps, all at the Grove AFC. So leave a like, leave a comment. Please subscribe, leave a nice little 5-star review, a bit like Arsenal's performance today, and it really helps, spread the word of the Grove podcast. Our next pod will be on the Wednesday as we celebrate an EFL Cup semi-final second leg win and pre-Sunderland. And there we go. So we're back on we're back on the horse, which has then got onto the Arsenal fun boat. And the season starts now. I think this is our march towards lifting the Premier League. I think it starts now. Started today. I think that was an important win, important 4 goals, and I think this sets us up nicely until we lose our next game, and then we lose our shit, and it's all a downward spiral again. So there we go. But let's not think about that. Let's think about Wembley. Think about 3 points against Sunderland, and away we go. And thank you for listening. And until the next time, and I'm only going to say this once, come on, you Spurs.
Oh, my God.
And come on, you Gunners.